Okay, I think it's now recording. All right. So, Liz, can you just tell me a bit about when you were diagnosed and what your first thoughts were, really?
I was diagnosed in 2009, and that was 12 years ago. I was just 60 then. But I'd had the symptoms for quite a few years before that. I was aware that I was walking rather strangely. You know, I thought I'd got a back problem when my legs started to shake. But my GP referred me to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and it didn't occur to me even then that there might be something seriously wrong. And I went along, and I went in to see a rather nice gentleman, at the Queen Elizabeth, and he said he didn't even ask me to sit down in his office. He perched on the edge of his desk. He said to me, "Walk across the room for me, please," which I did. And then he said, "Touch my finger, touch my nose, touch that sort of thing." And then he said to me, "Are you aware that your GP thinks you've got Parkinson's?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, you have. I'll see you in 6 months because I don't think you need any medication." So I was dismissed. And literally, I wasn't in there 2-3 minutes. And how I felt. I got myself to the nearest loo because I was on my own, and I felt numb, and I thought, am I going to die in the next few months? How am I going to tell my children? How am I going to tell my husband? And it was a big shock because my GP hadn't prepared me for that. And that was a shame because I knew him quite well. So it was a big, big shock.
Yeah, I bet it was. And
yes.
If you look now, sort of, how do you find Parkinson's affects your daily life?
Parkinson's affects me from the time I wake up in the morning until the time I go to bed. It's always there. Sometimes it's worse than others. Sometimes it's off the scale, and other times I can cope with it. And there's no rhyme or reason to the symptoms. And I did write a poem once about that, but no rhyme or reason. And, you know, it's just a very strange illness. One person can have different symptoms to another, but it does affect my whole day. And I've no independence. I've lost all that, really, and I'm reliant on other people. Mm-hmm. So that's very sad, really.
Yeah. And obviously we know each other via conductive education.
Yes.
And not many people have ever heard of it, and certainly don't necessarily know it helps people with Parkinson's. How did you find out about it?
Well, I was looking for something, but I didn't know what. And I was talking to my Parkinson's nurse, and she put me on to you. So I was very grateful for that. So she said, go along and give it a try. Mm-hmm. So that's where it started.
And if somebody else came in that situation or was able to give it a try, what message would you give to them?
I'd say to them, if you're looking for just an exercise class, then you won't find it here. You'll find something a lot more. You'll find that they'll teach you strategies of how to cope with your Parkinson's or your MS or your stroke. They deal with the areas of the body that are affected by either Parkinson's, which in my case it is. So they concentrate on what you can do, not what you can't do, and help you to keep as mobile as you can. So I'd say, if you want to keep mobile, if you want to keep positive, then go along, because that's what NICE did for me. And at that time it was, the conductive education. And I thank them very much for that, because I think I would have been a lot further along in my progression of my Parkinson's had I not gone to them.
That's good to hear. There's a positive impact. Do you think generally there's enough information about Parkinson's for the general public?
No, I don't. And I don't think people realise how many different ways it can affect you, in not just your mind, but your body, and how you deal with things. And, it's like I can't always find the words that I want to say, and that's embarrassing at times. I fumble in my purse because I don't realise that, it's my Parkinson's. So sometimes I tell them, and sometimes, I just think, oh, well, I'll have to wait. But no, I don't think there's enough information out there to, you know, to tell people what exactly goes on.
And I guess that's why the Parkinson's Awareness Week is so important, isn't it? Gives us all a chance to let people know that it is out there.
Very much so. Very much so. It is very important. And we've talked about this before, Mel, you know, how it affects younger people as well as older people. And that's important to tell people. You know, you can get it at any age. That I even know children with it. So, you know, it's make people aware that it doesn't just happen to elderly people.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.